Okay. Wow. This meeting, this beautiful meditation is called a guided meditation with Mushi, the call from within. Call is a word that we are very much used to hear, to listen, porque, and it can be used, as we always said. This is a typical word that can be used as a noun or as a verb. Because we can say, for example, we can say, I just received a call from my friend, for example, or I'll call you later. We use the same word. Or where here that we have this word in a spiritual context. The disciples were called to leave everything behind and follow Jesus. And then there is a much profound word that is the word, and it is very similar to call, and is a calling. A calling is what? Here, we have the definition. Vic, do you want to read it? A calling is what?
A calling is a strong urge towards a particular way of life or career, a vocation, often seen as a divine or spiritual summons to fulfill a particular mission in life. It can be religious, professional, or personal, something a person feels destined to do.
Destined to do. Something a person feels destined to do. A calling. Our calling is this, the vocation. La vocación es eso. Por eso dice, it is a word that Mushi always says, that we are here for what? What is the purpose of our life, of incarnation? To discover, we have to find out what is our calling. Our calling is the way that of manifesting God in our lives. And calling, that's here, why here says a calling is a strong urge to a particular way of life. What is an urge? An urge, I always say that it is a kind of false friend, porque en español muchas veces tendemos a traducirlo como urgencia, pero vieron que urgencia tiene como una kind of bad connotation. An urge in English is more connected with a deep desire. Es como un deseo muy fuerte, muy profundo. This is an urge. También una palabra que es sinónimo in English from urge is a longing. To long for something. Long is a word that we are used to use it as an adjective, as a way of a long, something long es algo largo. It's the opposite of short. But when we use it like this, a longing, which is not a verb, but it is a noun, es un adjetivo, longing is a synonym of urge, of a deep desire. And if we are talking about a deep desire, it is connected to what? To how can we know what is our calling in life? Through intuition. And what is intuition? It is the voice of God that tells us what we are here for. But what happens? That sometimes what this voice is telling us is something totally different from what we think we have to do. And it is very beautiful when we listen, when we feel what we have to do, because we have no doubt when we listen to our intuition. But what happened next? Our mind appears to say to us, oh no, this is something impossible. You won't do it. It is impossible. But and there we have to, a very important thing is to discover how it works. Because life works like this. Es una cuestión de que la vida funciona así. Why? Dios nos las puso así. To develop our faith. Le voy a decir en español para que se entienda bien, porque es hermoso esto. Que nosotros sentimos que tenemos que hacer algo, o que estamos en esta vida para algo. Y muchas veces miramos nuestra realidad y no sabemos cómo lo vamos a hacer. Pero vieron que hay una frase que dice, el qué es nuestro, el cómo es de Dios. Entonces, muchas veces Dios no nos muestra así a simple vista cómo tenemos que hacerlo, in order to what? To develop our faith. Para que aprendamos a creer, to believe in Him, in His ways. And then, if we believe, He begins to show us how. Él después nos empieza a mostrar cómo, pero the first step has to be what? Faith. Okay, my friends. So, let's begin with this beautiful. Jose is here, and I don't see him, or he has. Yes, he's here. Now I see all of you.
I'm here.
Okay. Let's start. So let's start with the first paragraph. Who wants to read?
I start to.
Well, I call you. We were talking about callings and calls. So I call you to read.
The title too. Read the title.
The title, yes.
The title.
Very good.
Guided meditation with Mushi. The call from within. Our so-called journey on the earth is only to awaken from the sleep of a person's self and to awaken to the realization of God as all reality. What we are inside is that pure impersonal consciousness, everlasting, pure harmony, oneness.
Okay. Our
lasting.
Yes, our is a word that we use because it includes, it means share also. Our is nosotros o nuestro. Nosotros es we. Pero our it refers to nuestro. Por eso in spiritual language we see a lot of our. Our so-called, this is another word related to call. So-called es el llamado, o el supuesto, the so-called journey on earth. In Spanish we will say nuestro paso por la vida, or journey what is a synonym of trip or travel. Nuestro viaje sería. Journey is, in English, is a synonym of trip or travel. TripAdvisor in usual everyday language. We see it a lot. Or to travel. Okay. So it's only to awaken from the sleep of a personal self. This is always a thing that we listen a lot from our spiritual masters. That what? That this life is a dream. And so we have to awaken. Awaken is another verb that we use a lot. Awaken. A esta vida venimos a despertar. Así nos dice nuestro maestro. Is only to awaken from the sleep of a personal self. Not to get lost in the world, but to awaken, that to go beyond, as we were talking about a few minutes ago. To awaken to the realization of God as our reality. What we are inside, you know that this, here we have a lot of words that we use always. Inside, within, are synonyms. What we are inside is that pure, impersonal consciousness, everlasting, pure, harmony, oneness. All very, very beautiful words. So why is so important to go within, to discover this? What we are. Let's go on. Well, Pablo, do you want to read?
Up?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. My words are not religious words. They are words of a call from God. The awakening call from God. The trumpet of God that will only be heard in the quiet heart.
We were talking about intuition. And this is intuition, the voice of God, the call from God, the trumpet of God. But this is, here it says something very important, that it will only be heard in the quiet heart. That why we always talk about what? About the importance of silence. If we are not in silence, but silence meaning if we are not giving energy or feeding our thoughts, we cannot hear God. The awakening call from God. An awakening call. Awakening call. It reminds me every day when my son is sleeping and I awaken him to go to school. This is an awakening call also. And it's all an effort. The little that it is not little. The other one is it's he awakens and go. He has no problem. But
Sorry,
the other
Cari,
yes.
se le nota cortado. How
Oh.
saying? Maybe for me.
I
don't know for
didn't
all.
have them.
For me, it's okay.
Yes, maybe it's your internet, but I adjusted the cable because it was a bit loose. Okay, so let's go on. We were talking about the calling, the awakening calling from God, and how important is silence, to have a quiet heart. And here it says, let's go on. Who wants to go on?
Continue.
Well, let's go on.
And how do you come to this quiet heart? By disassociation from everything you see through the mind and the sense. Nobody has taught us this. Let's go up.
Let's stop a bit.
Yes.
By disassociating, it's what is disassociating? It's what is a synonym in
detach.
Detach. Okay, very good.
What
Detach.
is detach?
Desapego.
Desapego, detach.
Detach. Okay. It's the opposite of attach.
Okay.
Yes. For instance, detach, attach, and here these are the verbs. But if we talk about the nouns, these are very used words in spiritual language. We talk about attachments, our attachments. Nuestros apegos. Entonces, here, this is something very important because he's saying, how can we come to this quiet heart? By disassociating or disengaging, detaching are all synonyms. To disengage. This is another. You know that here we are using this prefix, that it happens the same in Spanish, this, that it means the opposite. Engage, disengage. Identify, or we can say disidentify from everything you see through the mind. And disidentify. This is another synonym. And this is another thing that I want to say to you, Jose, when you read. Disassociating from everything you see through the mind and the senses. Because this is plural. When we have it, the word in singular, we don't have the S and we say sense. But when it is plural, it's senses. Okay. So let's you repeat the sentence and then we go on.
Okay. Desde by disassociating.
By disassociating, yes.
By disassociating from everything you see through the mind and the senses.
Very good.
Nobody, continue now.
Yes, nobody has taught us this. Touch is the past of what verb? Touch. Teach. Because it is what? It is an irregular verb. So that's why we, and if we talk about the noun, we talk about the teachings of someone. We often talk about our master teachings. Las enseñanzas es teachings. We don't use the same word in this case, but a similar one. Okay. Let's go on, Jose.
Let go of all of that. Not aggressively, but determinedly. Just keep on detaching.
This is very important. what is the attitude we have to have towards when we want to detach or disengage or disassociate? This here it says not aggressively, that we don't have to have an attitude of rejection, of resistance, but determinedly, o sea, con determinación, pero no con una actitud, because we were talking about this last meeting. If we have an attitude of resistance, of rejection, what happens? We close, and we have to be open. So, but we can be determined. Okay, let's go on.
Become empty, just become empty right where you are now. Whether you are standing up somewhere, sitting down somewhere, whether you are on a bus or a train or at work.
Okay, this requires a kind of training. Because at first, to be quiet, it is useful to have a quiet environment outside. But then we discover that we have what Yogananda calls a portable paradise inside us. Tenemos como ese paraíso portátil que lo podemos llevar a todas partes. Entonces, we can do this everywhere we are. It doesn't matter. It says you can do it standing up somewhere, sitting down, where you are on a bus, on a train, or at work, everywhere. So let's
continue
go on.
right now.
Right now. Right now. And that is also a very important thing, that you know that this progress in our spiritual life has to do with, we always say, with self-inquiry, and to beginning to observe what are the thoughts that appear sometimes. And we are very used to procrastinate. When we are not feeling good, and we are outside, for example, at work or wherever, we say, well, when I come home, I will meditate and be quiet again. And we can do it at this very moment right now, no matter what happens outside. But first, we have to find this place by ourselves in a quiet space. So we know this place exists. And when we know that we are this peace, then it will be easier to find it wherever we are. But first we have to find it. That's why we are here. And we have the opportunity to find this space. And then, porque bueno, no podemos buscarlo si no sabemos que existe, digamos. Entonces, una vez que lo descubrimos y que sabemos que existe, y que no es algo que podamos, that we may lose, que se pueda perder, because it's part of our essence, then we can look for it when we begin to have this feeling of separation, of uneasiness, of tiredness, we can come back. Well, Here, let's go on. Vic, do you want to read?
Yes. Right now, wherever this body is, it doesn't matter actually what it is. Start this emptying. Just empty. Let go of everything, including your self-image, the idea you have of yourself. Let go of every concept, every thought, every intention, every memory, every image, every projection, every dream. Let go and experience emptiness. Be the emptiness experiencing emptiness. Don't pick up anything, just be here. Don't expect anything through the mind and see if anything is wrong.
Yes. This is complete detachment, but how beautiful it is when we can experience this. This is another thing that he always he insists, Mushi, that he says experience it. It's not just that you have to read this and it is a mental thing. Experiences how is to be empty, empty of everything. Okay. Here it says, don't pick up anything. What is a synonym of pick up would be don't hold to anything. Hold to, no se aferren a nada. Tomar pick up es agarrar algo. Pero to hold on is a hold on to something. Aferrarse a algo. No se aferren, no agarren nada. Just be here. Okay. Pablo, you can go on.
Okay. A quiet feeling to just be with this, just be with this. Don't look for anything, just be here. Welcome into the silent space of God. Do you want God to say something? No, He need not say something, just be here.
Don't look for anything. Look for is the synonym of search. You know that look can be see something, but when it is with this preposition, look for is search. Don't search for anything. Just be here. Welcome. We were talking about the word welcome a few minutes ago at the beginning of this meeting. Welcome into the silent space of God. Démosle la bienvenida. Do you want God to say something? Mushi always says that God speaks in silence. God speaks in silence. So that's why we need silence to hear, to listen to him. But he has his ways. That's why it is said here, do you want God to say something? It's an experience that goes beyond words. He need not say something. What does this mean? And that's why...
Cari,
Yes.
esa oración, he need not say something, está como armada de una manera como rara, ¿no? Porque uno diría lo mismo de otra manera. O he doesn't need, or...
Yes, but it is not a grammatical wrong expression.
No.
but it is a
But
word.
it sounds
Don't need.
Yes, he need not say something, or he needn't say something. It is another word of saying it, or it sounds strange to you because you are associating it to Spanish. In Spanish, if we translate it literally, we say the way you just said, but this is the way they used to say it in English. They have different structures sometimes, and this is one. For them, is very usual. It's more usual in English to speak like this than to. They don't say doesn't need to. They understand you. It is the other way around. O sea, para ellos es re extraño decirlo de la otra forma. The usual way is they need not say something. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Just be here. I was trying to say this, that God don't speak to us in words. But what happens? We can feel his presence in silence. And we can feel it in a word that it's better than a million words. And that is why it's something that we cannot express or describe with words. But I'm sure that you know what I am talking about. Okay. Let's go on. Just be here. Luisa, do you want to read? Do you want to read?
Okay. Okay.
Let's try.
Yes, let the sense dance. Let the word play. But just be here. Let's go.
Stop a moment. It's only a moment. It happens. I stress this word because it always happens the same with Jose some minutes ago. Senses, because it is in plural. Let the senses dance. If you, it is, si no tenemos la S, sí, es sense porque está hablando de uno solo. Pero si no, acá está hablando de los sentidos. Let the senses dance. Repeat.
Let the senses dance.
Very good.
Let the word play. But just be here.
Very good.
Let's go of the idea of being a visitor here. Experience, just to be. Go beyond the feeling of waiting, of time. It's returning to your original nature.
Let's stop. You are going very, very good. Very well. So the only difficult thing here is this sound, that is the neutral sound. We call it in English. El neutral, que es un sonido que para los hablantes de español es difícil porque no lo tenemos en español nosotros, que es the sound of returning. Es como un sonido cerrado. It is returning, y es a characteristic of English. This word, returning. It is returning, y es the same sound that as in nature. It is returning to your original nature.
Nature, okay.
Let's repeat.
It is returning to your original nature.
Very good. Nature, return.
Nature.
Very good. Very good. You are assimilating this.
Yes.
So, let go of the idea of being a visitor here. Experience. Nos está invitando a eso, a lo que decíamos recién. No verlo como algo mental. Experience, just to be. Experimentar, ¿qué es eso de solo ser? To be here and now. So, let's go on a bit more.
Yo, I'm?
Yes,
Yes.
a bit more.
It is returning to your original nature. Stay with this which is breaking to hold of this disillusion. Hold of delusion up. ¿Cómo sería esto?
Upon
you, returning us to ourselves.
Very good. Stay with this, which is breaking the hold of delusion. What is breaking the hold of delusion? To break something is romper con algo. We can say also to break a leg. Cuando te quebras una pata decís to break a leg. To break a leg. Entonces, breaking es romper, to break. If you use it as a verb, you say, yes, for example, to break a leg. And we can also say, we can use this as a noun also. For example, give me a break. Give me a break es dame un respiro, dame un descanso. O break in school, the break es el recreo.
Oh.
The students wait for the break. Break es
or a coffee break that is very often used.
Yes, that's why we say, give me a break. To have a break es tomarse un ratito, un descanso, un recreíto, lo decimos también in Spanish, break. So, here we use it as a noun also. Okay. So, let's go on. Pablo, do you want to read?
Okay. At the beginning.
Yes, abide in this.
Abide in this as this. The Lord said, be still and know that I'm God. Be still. This is what is happening now. Stay in stillness as stillness itself, and you will know that God is here. You are invited to be here consciously. You are beyond north or south, west or east, inner or outer.
Okay, abide in this as this. Here the word that is most used is still. What is to be still? To be quiet. Es quedarse quieto. Stillness is a synonym of quietness, of silence. And you will know that God is there. Be still, the Lord says. Be still and know that I am God. Okay. Stay instead, abide is a synonym of stay, of remain. Y es una palabra que Mushi usa mucho, abide in this. Es como, quédense aquí, permanezcan en esto. Abide as the self, abide in your heart, be established in your heart. Abide is a synonym of stay and remain. Okay. Well. Let's go for the last part. José.
Do not rely upon imagination. Take no offering or suggestions from your mind. Simply stay empty. In the emptiness in self, but we get confirmed. You who heard this and whose heart feel in all this.
You who hear. Here, and this is a verb that in present we say here, and in past we say heard. And it's very similar to heart.
Yes.
Pero es cuando lo decimos en pasado, hear, que es escuchar, y decimos heard, el sonido es como el neutral que estábamos hablando hace un ratito, es un sonido cerrado y decimos heard, pero acá decimos heart. Cuando hablamos del corazón, no es el neutral de heart, sino es heart, es una A, heart. Entonces, y acá que está usado en presente, no es heard, sino es hear. So, you who hear
how pronounce whose? Whose es esa palabra.
Whose
And whose.
Who.
No, the next and whose hurts.
Whose.
Whose.
Who y whose. Very good. Entonces, you who hear this and whose heart feels to honor this.
Yes.
Let's repeat.
You who hear this and whose heart feels the honor this.
Very good.
Fall in love with this. No, I am with you. I am you. Beyond you and I and others. The Lord is here. Bless you. God bless you.
Okay. Very, very beautiful. See this phrase. Fall in love with this. Once we find this emptiness, this peace, it's natural to fall in love with this. Por eso él nos dice que al principio, you have to persist. En este ejercicio, en esto de buscar el silencio y de meditar. But what happens? When you discover this is peace, and at the same time, it's something very powerful. And you feel so good that you fall in love with this. And anyone or nobody has to tell you to go there or to choose to be there. Él nos dice que al principio es como que tenemos que elegir eso y hacer un poco de esfuerzo, de persistir, de ir ahí. Pero una vez que lo descubrimos, nos enamoramos de eso. We fall in love with this. And why? Because we discover that all we are looking for outside is not there. And that living connected with this place of stillness and of peace within us is the best. Es todo lo que queremos y que nuestra vida se transforma cuando lo hacemos así. So my friends, let's experience it. Vamos a hacerlo now. It's a bit longer than the meditations we are. It is the double time, ¿no? O sea, porque dura 19 minutos, creo. Pero bueno, it worth the time. We are, I think that, vieron que nosotros siempre hacemos meditaciones muy cortitas, de 5 minutos, que están buenísimas, porque es lo que yo les digo siempre. We don't need too much time to come back here. Eso nos demuestra que no necesitamos mucho tiempo para volver a nuestro corazón. Pero está bueno por ahí dedicar un poquito más, como lo vamos a hacer hoy. 20 minutos. And to be here. To be here. Bueno, ahí les comparto. Here.
Our so-called journey on the earth is only to awaken from the sleep of a personal self and to awaken to the realization of God as our reality. What we are inside is that pure, impersonal consciousness, everlasting, pure harmony, oneness. My words are not the religious words. They're words of a call from God. The awakening call from God. The trumpet of God that will only be heard in the quiet heart. And how do you come to this quiet heart? By disassociating from everything you see through the mind and the senses. Nobody has taught us this. Let go of all of that. Not aggressively, but determinedly. Just keep on detaching. Become empty. Just become empty right where you are now, whether you're standing up somewhere, sitting down somewhere, whether you're on a bus or a train or at work. Right now, wherever this body is, it doesn't matter actually where it is. Start this emptying. Just empty, let go of everything. Including your self-image, the idea you have of yourself. Let go of every concept, every thought. Every intention, every memory. Every image, every projection, every dream, let go. And experience emptiness. Be the emptiness experiencing emptiness. Don't pick up anything. Just be here. Don't expect anything through the mind. And see if anything is wrong. Acquire the feeling to just be with this. Just be with this. Don't look for anything. Just be here. Welcome into the silent space of God. You want God to say something? No, He need not say something. Just be here. Let the senses dance. Let the world play, but just be here. Let go of the idea of being a visitor here. Experience just to be. Go beyond the feeling of waiting. Of time. Is returning to your original nature. Stay with this, which is breaking the hold of delusion upon you. Returning us to ourself. Abide in this, as this. the Lord said, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still. This is what is happening now. Stay in stillness as stillness itself. And you will know that God is here. You're invited to be here consciously. You are beyond north or south, west or east, inner or outer. Do not rely upon imagination. Take no offerings or suggestions from your mind. Simply stay empty. In the emptiness itself, we get confirmed. You who hear this and whose heart feel to honor this, fall in love with this. Know I am with you. I am you. Beyond you and I and other, the Lord is here. Bless you, bless you, bless you. God bless you. Om.
Juan, un gusto nuevo.
Well, my friends, just remember that we can take this portable paradise everywhere. Thank you. And you have this gift this week. You can come back and listen to this meditation every time you need it. Well, have a beautiful weekend. And thank
Bye.
you for being here. And remember, remain here, abide here, stay here. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.